If you're in web development, you know that things are always evolving. But every once in a while, a piece of tech comes along that isn't just an update, it's a genuine leap forward. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of those tools, the incredible framework Next.js, and how it's really changing the entire playbook for building fast, modern websites. So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the big problem that a ton of modern websites face. Then, we'll see how Next.js offers a totally new blueprint to fix it. We're going to explore its game-changing app router, dig into its performance tricks, and finally, look at how you get your project live and what's on the horizon. All right, let's just get right to it. Why is it that with all our crazy powerful devices and high-speed internet, so many websites still just feel, laggy and clunky? It's a real head-scratcher, and it's the core dilemma we're going to tackle. Yeah, this whole problem really comes down to what we can call the modern web gap. First up, you've got slow first paint. That's that super annoying wait where you're just staring at a blank screen, waiting for anything to load. Then there's SEO blindness. This is a huge one. It's when search engines like Google literally can't figure out what's on your page, so you don't show up in search results. And the big kahuna? Heavy client bundles. We're basically forcing users to download these massive JavaScript files, which just chokes the browser and slows everything down. And that right there is where Next.js comes into the picture. It was built from the ground up to solve these exact problems, to bridge that gap between what's great for the user and what's great for the developer. The best way to think about it is like this. Next.js is the bridge. It intelligently combines the best parts of having a powerful server do the work with the best parts of having the user's browser do the work. It's not about picking a side. It's about having a smarter way to do both. And this slide shows you exactly how it pulls that off. Next.js hands you this amazing toolkit of rendering strategies. You've got server-side rendering, or SSR, which is perfect for freshness. Think of your social media feed. It has to be new every single time. Then you have static site generation, or SSG, which is all about raw speed. It builds the page once, making it incredibly fast for things like a blog or documentation. And then there's the magic in the middle, incremental static regeneration, or ISR. It gives you that static speed, but it can cleverly rebuild pages when the data changes. It's absolutely the best of both worlds. Okay, so let's talk about a feature that honestly changed everything, the app router. This isn't just some small update. It's a totally new way of thinking about how we build our applications, and it makes things so much more intuitive. Just look at how simple and elegant this is. You want a dashboard page for your users, right? Okay, you go into your app folder, you make a new folder called dashboard, and inside that, you put a file called page.js. That's it. And boom, just like that, you now have a working page at /dashboard. The folder structure is the URL. You don't have to configure anything. It just works. For big, complex apps, this is an absolute lifesaver for keeping things organized. Now, inside this new router, we get a superpower. And I mean a real superpower. It's called server components. This is a brand new way to build user interfaces. These components run entirely on the server. And here's the punchline. These send zero, let me say that again, zero JavaScript to the person using your site. All the work is done before it even gets to them, making everything feel incredibly fast. Let's make that feel real for a second. With a traditional client-side React app, it's pretty common to ship a JavaScript bundle of around 450 kilobytes, and your user's phone or computer has to download and process all of that before they can do anything. But by using server components in Next.js, that can drop all the way down to something like 120 kilobytes. That is a massive, massive difference. It's the kind of change that makes your site feel snappy and responsive, especially for people on slower networks. So how else does Next.js get this incredible speed? Well, it doesn't stop there. Let's look at a few other performance power plays, especially around how it handles getting data and loading assets like images. So if you've worked with React, this whole dance is probably going to look really familiar. The old way of getting data usually involves this useEffect hook. The page loads, then you ask for data, which often creates these request waterfalls where everything has to wait in line. You end up juggling loading spinners all over the place. It's just a clunky, multi-step process that's full of pitfalls. Now look at the new way with async server components. It's so much cleaner. Step 1, you just make your component async. Step 2, you await your data right there. Step 3, you return your code with the data baked right in. No more waterfalls, no more spinners everywhere. It's simpler to write, easier to understand, and way, way faster. And it's not just about data fetching. Next.js also has built-in automatic optimizations for things like images and fonts. We're talking about shaving off 200 to 400 milliseconds of load time right off the top and boosting your Lighthouse performance score by 15 to 25 points without you having to do practically anything. These are massive, free wins. So you've used all these tools, you've built an incredibly fast and powerful app. Amazing! What's next? Let's talk about the final step, getting your app out into the world and into the hands of your users. Honestly, this is another area where Next.js just shines, especially if you pair it with a platform like Vercel. Deployment is basically a solved problem. You just push your code with git push, the platform automatically builds it and deploys it across a global network of servers, so it's fast for everyone, everywhere. It's just easy. Okay, so let's take a step back. You've built this app. The engine is solid. It's fast, it's powerful, it's scalable. But that's really only half the story, isn't it? The best engine in the world doesn't matter if the car itself is a pain to drive. How do you make it beautiful? How do you make it intuitive? And that question is the perfect cliffhanger for what we're covering next time. We're going to dive headfirst into the world of UX and UI with Tailwind CSS. We'll show you how to build those rapid, responsive, and truly beautiful interfaces that sit on top of the powerful Next.js foundation you've built. It's the perfect next piece of the puzzle. We'll see you then.